Lakeshore is going to go by a bit faster than usual, as it is a very small mall, and it's awfully busy for a struggling mall. Let's have a look and discuss its situation. After all, it can't be that bad. Look at that fountain. Lakeshore goes as far back as 1970, when the mall originally opened as Lakeshore Plaza. JCPenney and Rose's would be the original anchors, with Belk Gallant joining later in 1973. There isn't a lot known about the mall back in the days, as the only newspaper archives I could find were hiring ads for JCPenney, negligee sales hosted by Belk, which lists the Gainesville Mall as a participating location, and quite a few boat shows. The mall did appear to be popular enough to warrant an expansion, and in 1987, the mall would get that addition on the north side of JCPenney. This would bring forth Sears, a movie theater, and a food court, and this would turn JCPenney into a mall-through anchor. Meanwhile, as Rose's fled the market due to declining sales, Belk would open a secondary store in their place. Later on in 1998, the mall would get sold to Colonial Properties based out of Birmingham, Alabama. I feel like I've seen that name before. Colonial Properties would carry out a renovation for the mall around 2006, bringing it to the look we have today. However, the new wing on the other side of JCPenney seemed to be floundering hard, and in 2013, the food court and movie theater, as well as the new wing, would be demolished and filled in by Dick's Sporting Goods. Earlier in 2010, the mall would end up getting sold to Garrison Investment Group, whom was responsible for the redevelopment of that new wing. This would also lead to Sears becoming a sort of freestanding store. In 2017, the mall would sell off to Stockbridge Enterprises, based out of Detroit. Ew. The company would have been able to get the mall through an auction at the low price of $1.75 million. In December 2018, however, Sears, well, you know what happened. Liquidation and official closure in March 2019 is what would happen to Sears. The mall was back down to just 2 Belk stores and JCPenney as primary anchors. For those of you moving to the comments right now to yell at me going, JCPenney is closed! How are you not addressing this? Stop typing. I know, we're getting to that in a moment. The mall did make it through 2020 without too many problems, but JCPenney announced they would be closing 154 stores nationwide, including the Lakeshore Mall location. This is a pretty serious problem, no doubt, and an empty anchor can harm perceptions over time. While the mall still appears to have an audience, will those people continue to come in? The latest article I can find states that while the owners admit the mall is struggling, their outlook still remains optimistic as they report on potentially turning the old Sears into a new grocery store. We'll see what comes of that in the future. Lakeshore Mall remains in a precarious state, with traditional inline stores amiss while new tenants find a home at the mall. The Children's Fun Center, that I am trying politely to avoid, has paved the way for alternative uses like family recreation and entertainment, and would serve as a path for a second life to this mall. While the owners remain relatively quiet outside of the grocery store conversion, I could easily see this mall settling in as a mixed-use business center. After all, does Gainesville really need yet another strip mall? We're almost out of time, but I could go over some of my own thoughts and feelings about this mall while you discuss its situation in the comments below. Although it has a somewhat modern atmosphere to its interior, I actually kinda like it. Mostly because it seems they actually cared about making a pleasant interior to walk around in without making it too excessive. And it also isn't just a soulless white Euro box like what everyone else and their mother is trying to do. There's still some things left to be desired with this place, but this mall is A-OK in my book of architecture and aesthetics. And that's good enough for me. We just gotta do something about that inline occupancy. Thanks for having me, Gainesville, Georgia. And until next time, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you and the Lakeshore Mall farewell and good luck in the future. When Mom says we have Pokemon at home, this is what she means.